We're over here tapping in with KWJT, Puget Sound from space. I'm over here with Corey. You're tapping in with Tavares and sliding with Solana. Oh, shit. Sorry, I was going dumb crazy. Crazy, brazy, AZ. My apologies. KWJT, what's good? We're back. Another episode. Whole lot of love. Thank you for showing love to these past episodes. We're trying to run it up on y'all. Go crazy 2022. And we're having a lot of fun. Want to thank the Tranquil Forest team for always showing out and showing love for us. This one's really fun and exciting. So without further ado, let me introduce this week's guest. We got Daz up in the building.
Come on.
Wow.
This is
Sorry,
amazing.
that was a little nerve-wracking, bro. I had to get that right.
I love the you slowed down. It was very like every word matters. Like usually it's like
word matters.
The you can tell the Terramano is still like active in it. So you're like, fuck, I can't fuck nothing up.
Nah, he's all good. He's all solid.
How are you today?
I'm doing good, man. It's a good Sunday. You know, Sunday's my day.
I know.
So I love Sundays.
Daz ran all Sundays in the summer
That's
last.
all I do.
You know?
I do nothing on the. Cause I say all the time, you know, if it's on Sundays, at least the Lord got my back. You know what I'm saying? Anything goes wrong, He got my back. So it's good energy though. Good start to the week or into the week.
Yeah.
Think about it, but yeah.
You count Sunday as the first day of the week?
Usually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, you know, just cause that's when you like get prepped for Monday.
True.
To, you know, so just like.
Try to cut everything off by like 5 or 6. Just so
You
I
start on Monday, you're already behind, right?
Facts.
So it's just like you might as well get it popping on Sunday. You know, get ready and
get that mind right.
exactly. So
I love that. I'm gonna ask a ton of questions, so if you want to open, I will allow you. Like, you know, I'll let that room, but I might just start ripping on.
Rip you off, brother.
So I think it's like I want to start with like I was a fan of you before I knew the plethora of things that you do and like how involved in the core community and like the industry that we run here, like. Because I came across you as like an ETC I thought you modeled at first. I didn't realize the correlation.
yeah,
So I was like, oh, who's this dope ass dude who models for ETC? Like he like never not in a fit. Like your internet personality was like really I want to say player, but like that, like it was very smooth. It reminded me of like a cousin that I don't have, or like a you know,
family
like
members.
yeah,
Okay.
someone that I like would I want to be around and get to know. So like just that effect, and then coming into the shop for the first time and like kind of being nervous to like really be in ETC and like experience that vibe. Because like at first I'm like, first of all, this store has been in Tacoma for years, never knew it. It instantly from the internet presence reminded me of New York and just that like.
The essence.
Yeah, like that Brooklyn, like when Brooklyn still had fashion stores like that. So that just that feeling of just like ahead of its time, but perfectly in the right place. So like when I walked in, I was like, I didn't really want to introduce myself. I was just kind of gonna get the vibe, and then you come out from the back. It's like, what's good? Like, you know, what can I get you? Oh yeah, you need a size. Oh, we don't got a size in that. And it was just like. That store presence just came to life for me, and it was just like he is as cool as he is on the internet in person. Like it's like, and that like I felt like this is something I gotta know more about, and like ended up coming back in and buying like Solana something, and we actually got to like chop it up, and I like told you I was like doing the podcast, and just like and you were like, oh yeah, I've seen you like do stuff, and like you've interviewed the homies, so like just having that rapport and just being able to like. Build a friendship and just actually get to know you. I wanted to open with that because I like it's amazing to get to know like you as a human being, a creative, and just all these ways that you do, because you do a lot that people don't know about or do know about, and it's very inspirational for me personally.
I appreciate that. Now we go way back. I pressed him like, man, I thought we were friends, man. You didn't get me on the podcast yet. Nah, I got you. So I do appreciate your guys' friendship and just your guys' knowledge and energy that you guys just bring to the table on your guys' own platform, but then just the platforms that we meshed together in. You know, so it's always been a good time when we're around the Groovy Tapes. You know, so much love and support too. So
Absolutely.
excited to be here.
So I want to start with your love of fashion, because that for I feel like that's one of our first expressions, and I want to know how you got so like into it and just like, because you have style, like, you know, like there's certain people who just put things together, but like I've seen you match like fits, and I'm just like, fuck, like brown is a color I wish I could do.
I love brown.
I know, and like you kill brown, like dope. So I want to know where that like experience, like able to experience fashion and enjoy it and like really play with it came from you.
No, yeah, for sure. For me, at least from a streetwear concept, it started for sneakers. I'm a sneakerhead by trade, you know. So, you know, I had people that worked at the employee store when I was younger. My grandparents lived in Battleground, Washington for a time period. So I was always in Portland. AAU, we would go that way more than anything. So it really started with shoes. And then I grew up in church too, and my grandfather was very like sharp man, you know, sharp in attack, you know. So I think just a mesh of those two things kind of just, I found my own way of trying to express myself. Yeah. That's why, you know, when you see me in the walking suit, that's like second nature for me.
Yeah.
But I like to try to switch it up and make it a little more modern, or make it more like, you know, wearables. I like to wear things that people be like, yeah, I would never wear that.
Yeah.
You know, it makes me more excited to try to throw that on and, you know, piece it together. But honestly, it started from kicks, man, and then obviously from shoes, you got to work your way up, you know, or vice versa, work your way down. So for me, it was the sneakers. Once you had the kicks, you know, back in the day, we just had the 501, so it was about having, you know, a couple graphic tees here and there, or tight pullover or jacket. I'm a jacket guy. Jean or pants, a fire jacket, now a hat. Yeah, you know,
but it's everything.
That's pretty much my go-to. But yeah, my grandfather was a very dapper man himself, so
that's where it started for you.
Yeah, for me.
Do you remember what sneakers you first started hunting and like loving back then?
I'm Team Jordan, so I was always on the Jordans. So like when new Jordans come out, I try to like get old Jordans. So anytime a new pair of ones come out, like
you go looking back.
Old pair. Like I just got my hands on. I had them before, but lost them in transition of moving in place to place, whatever. But just picked up some 20s.
Ooh.
The Black Cats, and then the Laser Anniversary Jones.
Yeah.
I was seeing him. He was like 20s, and it's like, yeah, people be sleeped on a couple of J's. You know, I like the like real nostalgic ones. You know, 16s, 17s. You know, well, like ones are of course the ones.
Nah, but I feel like if you go past
go
past 13, like you have you know how to dress, because a lot of those shoes you gotta know how to like
piece them together.
Yeah, how that really fits on like something. So to do this, like the 16s and the 17s, like those are really like sharp
the 15s. Yeah, the 15s ain't easy to, you know,
drip out.
Yeah, the Carolina blue and white ones, probably my favorite ones. But yeah, I just, you know,
I love that colorway and shoe.
Yeah, but no particular J. I'll just, you know, whatever ones that, obviously the 11s were a big thing back in the day. I'm a Carolina fan, so any colorway in baby blue, I'm hunting for. So like one of my like one of my gems that I have are my Alpha ones.
Ooh.
You remember the Alpha and Omega package?
Yeah.
Because, like, the Carolina ones are tight, but you got the last shot on the side.
You know?
Like, those are kind of going crazy. So I got my hands on those. There was a time where the mid-Js were going crazy. I don't rock with the new mid-Js, but back in the day, they had, like, the Barons, white and black, Father's Days. They had the gray with the royal blue laces in them.
Yep.
The military ones. There's a handful of them back in the, I just like nostalgia. I really
like shoes that were actually worn in a popular part of style.
Or just like was a time, you know, like I remember when the low top, like when Off-White 2s came out, I was just thinking back about the Carolina low top 2s that was like so slept on, you know.
Did you Were you able to go back and find them?
Not as of recently. I wear a size 12, so it's hard to find my size
Yeah.
and a lot of stuff. But
Team 13, I already know.
I love just like, especially player shoes too. If I could find the fire player shoes, Melo was killing the game back in the day. I got a pair of 18.5s. So just like, I just like classics.
Yeah.
You see him, you're just like,
I remember
you can't be mad at those.
Exactly. You remember when they were a moment.
Oh, for sure. When the Melo 2s came out and the whole nine. So just like those are just, I just rock with the history of Jordan. So I like to pick pieces that are like really like the candy package 2s. Man.
Do you think did you get any storytelling or being able to like invest in I love Jordan, but I love the story that they tell around their sneakers and be able to put that into like products yourself, or did that come separately in like life?
That was probably like further down the road. My mom had a shoe business, so I was just fascinated by shoes.
Okay.
So the story and everything else that came with it, I think, high school and beyond is where I like start to really lock in and be like, okay, there's a whole, thing that goes behind it, So,
yeah.
But outside of that, just, pretty casual with the kick,
What's the craziest shoe line you've ever been in? Did you cook the line? Was Daz in like 16 deep in the front just like chilling? Or did you have like you and the homie just went with a plan? Like, we gonna be four, we gonna kick it.
Honestly, there was a time where I didn't have to go in the line because I would just find somebody that has it.
Yeah.
And then I'll just, work my magic for, get a Daz deal there. One pair of shoes that I do remember, I used to live by the mall, so one pair of shoes I do remember standing in line for were the Fire Red 5s. Yeah,
that's worth it.
The classic 5s. I remember standing in line for those. Those were a good one to stand in line for.
I've always wanted the Toro 5s. I had a kid when we were in like middle school who got them either the day before or something like that. Came in with a all red fit on. This is when you could pull off all red fits, and the only thing his shoes were like the Toros in black and red. And then I just remember everyone just like the shoes were fire, but they roasted the fit because you're just like it was basketball shorts, like a 3XT. He was like. It was that time.
Yeah.
But the 5s were clean, so like
fives were clean.
You couldn't really fault him on it.
They're hard to wear nowadays because the tongue on them are so crazy.
Yeah,
you have to have the right pair. Yeah, you got to have the right pair of trousers just to make sure they sit right on the kicks. But that's the only reason I don't like really bust down the 5s now. But before they were really going crazy, honestly.
They're definitely like an oversized pant shoe.
For sure, yeah. Cargos.
Definitely a cargo shoe.
Yeah, but they go crazy with the cargos, so I'm not mad at that.
I see. Look, I see it. It's like telepathic. You can't go too long without a hand clap.
I can't. I'd be itching for it. I'd be like, oh.
Don't make that sound in my ear, bro.
Oh, sorry, bro.
No, that's funny though. What about you? What was your favorite? Your favorite pair of kicks?
I'm a fours guy.
Fours.
Any type of fours. So like, I've always loved. So I grew up. My dad bought every Jordan every week. So that was my whole childhood until I moved to Washington, and then it was just me and mom. So like, you got a pair of sneakers. You got Chucks to wear to school, and I might have gotten a pair of Jordans or like a hoop sneaker.
Sure. Yeah.
So for a while, I fell out of love with sneakers. So like up until really our sophomore, junior year, when I started like working, I didn't really like covet sneakers. So when I got back into it, my first pair, we were doing Air Max 90s, and like because we were wearing bucket hats and like Hawaiian t-shirts. So like the Air Max 90 fits that fit perfectly. Yeah. So that's really what we were on. And then the Raptor 7s were me actually getting back into like buying sneakers and like loving Jordans and just like figuring it out. And then I ended up trading Tavares for him for a bong at the time. And then we both They both like
it was. Let's put it this way: it was a trade that was not meant to happen.
It was
in
so
the universe,
stupid.
and both was taken away from both of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, my bong ended up breaking that week, and I traded him for it because we were doing like stupid like little high school high shit, and like one of the homies slammed the other homie on top of the bong, and it just like broke in half.
Damn.
They were going crazy, and they were all my bad, bro. And then
Never bought a new one though.
it was.
It's
I
never
traded
bad if you don't get another one.
you know. I traded the sevens for him. It was just like, yeah, I get to see my,
that was
like
yeah,
a $300 bond.
yeah. It was like I get to see my boy in the like. We get to like we both get enjoyment out of this like trade because like you know I needed a bong at the time, and then Tavares was like, I really like them sevens. You know, I just got this bong. What we finna do? And I was like, that's an easy trade because at least I get to. I've worn them. Now the homie gets to enjoy them. Everybody eats off of them.
Funny story. We had like a pound. What were we doing?
I don't know. It's being young and dumb and spending all your money on weed instead of sneakers. If I look back at life, I'm just like, my sneaker collection would be crazy if I just didn't buy a zip a week at 14,
I
15.
go back and stop myself from selling my sneakers.
Oh, Tavares had the dumb collection that he was just like, man, like, I don't want none of these. I don't need none of these.
Shoes are just materials.
Nah, man.
I'll get them back.
If whatever size shoe you've like worn for the last 10 years, if you could have kept all those shoes from then to now, it's just like it's a great collection, honestly.
I wouldn't buy
sad
sneakers
about-
today.
Yeah, wouldn't have to. Unless it's collaboration, supporting the homies or whatever the vibe is. But,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm trying to get to now. Just like, I wear the same shoes. Like,
Facts.
give me some ones, some SBs, some New Balances. New Balances been my wave for a little bit.
Nah, I've only like I never really fuck with New Balances. The Bricks and Woods were probably my first like getting back into
Balances,
yeah, just because one the story behind it I fuck with, but the box was just so crazy. I was like,
Crazy.
I need these. I know nothing about the brand. I have no like correlation, but like the amount of detail that went into the sneaker, I was like that's flawless in and of itself. So like my goal has been to like start buying black collaborations a lot more. Mm-hmm. So I just got like the denim tiers.
Okay.
I'm trying to get I got the red joints. I'm trying to get the white joints. I'm trying to get the Joe Fresh goods.
I got my hands on the Pattas. Ooh. Don't sleep on the Pattas. Those are cold.
I'm trying to go back because like certain Pattas be like hella cheap because like no one knew the collaboration, and then like obviously the SBs and like anything that's really like focused and they really like marketed heavily or is like the Times is out of here. I'm waiting for like Pattas to get obscure again, but I don't think it's gonna happen because they're in a resurgence of a boom and like everyone's refinding that this 10-year-old brand.
And I don't know if people know if it's black owned either.
I didn't know that until I think I saw Umi tweeting about it. He was like, "Oh, this is one of my favorite black." They're a leader in like a black owned brand. I was like, that makes it makes a lot of sense with the colors and like a lot of the inspiration.
The box itself.
Yeah,
You have the fist on there on the shoe, whatever you call it, the shoe paper.
Yeah. I just never and never correlate because I'd never see like I just see the clothes. I've never seen like a face or just like their marketing kind of speaks for itself and it like the clothes kind of sell on their own and I never feel like I'm I guess for me I never did the research because like the brand was just so strong I never needed to.
You didn't feel like you needed to.
Yeah. But I wanted to get into talking about how you've curated your own brand with throwing parties and being able to run watermelon Sundays and R&B Sundays and just creating a vibe through your own expression of just bringing people together and just music. Like what inspired that business structure and just like doing that on your like taking something fun that you probably were doing by yourself or with the homies and like taking it into more like a business structure and now where it is today.
So yeah, I mean, I've been at the shop since high school, and then I left and went to Langston University, which is a HBCU in Oklahoma. It's technically the furthest west HBCU in the United States. So me being from Tacoma, I mean, anywhere you go, you'd be like, yeah, I'm from Washington. They'd be like, oh, DC. Yo, we just said DC. We have to break it down like SeaTac, Sonics, Seahawks, whatever. The Seahawks were booming at that time when I was in college. So it was an easier way to be like, yeah, I'm 30 minutes south of the Seahawks. But when I went to school out in Oklahoma, I ended up joining the student activity board, which was in charge of pretty much making the school active outside of academics.
Oh, fire.
So it was really cool because, one, it was an easy way for me to kind of just like find my place in Oklahoma. Because I went out there repping ETC too, so they were just like, yo, what is this? But now for them to see where it has gone since I went to school there and people that still follow me in the whole nine, it's just been a cool experience. But joined the activities board out there. I was a part of the community service committee and the entertainment. So homecomings, parent welcome back week, parents week, spring fest, all that stuff. I was a part of an organization for the school that put it together. So I got to kind of do it from a structure standpoint.
Yeah.
And then there was an organization outside of that org that I joined called Rare Opportunity, which a core of my friends are all from. The people that were in that org also were the ones in charge of SAB. So what we did pretty much was we did all the stuff for the school, but we would throw all the after parties for whatever was going on for Welcome Back weekend. So we just kind of like double dipping for the most part. And I thrown some of my craziest parties in college with those guys. We were all from different places: Texas, Pasadena, Denver, Colorado, Louisiana.
Oh, that's a good collection.
It was just like people that come from cooler places than Oklahoma, trying to make something cool in Oklahoma, So yeah, we threw parties out there. Cream was one of our more popular events that we did. Always did the homecoming after party, things like that. And then for ETC's 2-year anniversary, we flew out to Los Angeles to do a pop-up at the 100 store.
Fire.
That's where I really got the true essence of how to intertwine doing events and like bringing that same energy with the store at the same time. Five was out there doing his thing, 5-day grilling, have the VU, people smoking out there, good vibes, good energy. Umi used to do the same thing when he was back on the block. So, granted, those are two different blocks compared to where ETC is and where the hundreds was. But I knew if I can kind of like mesh the two together, that it would help my position at the job and it would help the city in a way. And then I was coming back home once I turned 21, and they were just like, I'm trying to go out and get popping and stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, we gotta go to Seattle. It's like, I've been gone for like 5 months, and the first thing I'm not going to do is just go to Seattle because there's nothing really going on. I tell people Tacoma's like a college town, low key, without like a super big college. Like Puget Sound is a big college, but I'm talking about like D1 major school. So just like we have a lot of cool bars, good mom and pop food, and some nice houses and views and things like that.
Lit.
So when you go to Seattle, that's when you're looking to like, oh yeah, I'm trying to go club hopping and all that. You don't do that in Tacoma. We don't do clubs in Tacoma. So I just seen there was a void there, and there was nobody in our age bracket. The homies used to, Tina, and I don't know if she talked about it on the podcast, but Tina and her friends back in the day used to throw parties in high school and stuff. Jock and all them guys, they used to take over the skating rink and throw parties back in the day, and the People Center on the hilltop. So
that's fucking major.
We were going to that. Because a lot of people are like, man, you've been throwing parties forever, and I haven't. I literally started in college. Like, I threw birthday parties. And I have pretty lit birthday parties, but outside of that, I never like was a party guy, or anything of that nature. I just seen a void. I knew I could fill it. I knew the skill sets to fill it, and I think I just had the right pieces and solid enough name to where like I could see what it's about. So that's how Watermelon Sunday started.
Yeah.
I came back one summertime. That was, that's my school break, and I was just like, yeah, we need something in the summertime, and we did day parties out there and stuff and the whole nine. So I was like, we really don't have a day party in Tacoma. Like I literally asked. I sat on Watermelon Sunday for probably a year and a half, 2 years before actually coming back and doing it.
Wow.
Just to be like, let me see if somebody else does something, because you have an idea, then
somebody
be like, man, you're already doing my thing. I was already doing that, And I think 95 Slide just stopped around that time too. I think Lemonade started to be more bustling at that point in time, and I don't know if anything else was happening prior to that, but I was just like, yo, if you're trying to get day drunk, driving to Seattle is not the move, so
facts, you gotta come home.
And there's just a certain essence about Tacoma. If you're in the right party at the right time, you're gonna get the best out of Tacoma. Now there's some places you can go and wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
And you have a bitter taste about it, but I believe in the community that we have and the one that I grew up in and just know that I could produce a solid party. So the first one was in my mom's cabana at the Apex. Were you there, Kyle, at that one? No? Okay. The Apex was the first one. We brought out like 100 plus people.
That's
for
good.
The first one.
That's good for the first one.
Yeah, it's in the cabana. It's nowhere near to where it has grown to. So from there, I just knew that I had something. Giving out spiked watermelon was a signature.
Yeah.
Watermelon Sunday does have correlation to Dom. Obviously, when you think of Dom Kenny, you just think of summer music and just good vibes. So it's like, okay, Watermelon Sunday, just like
it fit
that fitting, that fitting puzzle piece. And then I actually wanted to really change the narrative on how Black people are perceived on liking watermelon and things of that nature. So when I talked to my mentor about doing the event way back when, he's like, how you going to change people's perception on that? And I was just going to, making it more of a community people's party.
Yeah.
I think that narrative has slowly but surely changed. I can't change it for the whole world, but just for my community.
Exactly.
You don't hear that often, like, oh, Black people love watermelon. It's like, man, Watermelon Sunday, that's the only watermelon I know.
Exactly.
So just changing the narrative on that too was super important for me. In a cool, seamless way without having to boast about it. It's a people's party, but it's definitely catered to the culture.
Yeah.
So everybody's welcome, but you're going to see a lot of Black people.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
It's a vibe.
So
I have to. That was an amazing start to finish, and you have a deep party career.
Yeah, I've been at it for some time now. I've traveled across the world a little bit or at least the United States, and done some events with other people. So it's a blessing to even.
How was it to bring it to Dallas?
Oh man, that was a long time coming. I've been waiting on trying to take it on a tour, but with COVID and everything. So when I graduated college and came back home for full time, my goal was to have Watermelon at a point to where it can pretty much run on its own legs, and then start other events throughout the year. So I wanted to do something at least once a quarter. Obviously COVID hit, so that slowed it down dramatically, because I was going to do the other events throughout the year, one Watermelon Sunday in the town, and then take it on the road. And that was honestly just to get people to come back to Washington.
That's fire.
No Watermelon Sunday will be better than the one in Washington. So Dallas was popping.
Yeah.
There's a few people from Washington that it was a very strategic move. So there's people that already moved from Washington to Dallas that knew about Watermelon Sunday.
Okay.
I have a lot of friends. So Dallas is the closest state to Oklahoma. So
okay,
that was the closest state. I had family and friends that I didn't have nobody in Oklahoma. So I would drive to Dallas often. So I have people out there. Dallas don't care about what's going on either. They're their own state, so the energy was just always high. And they support, just Black people doing stuff, honestly. Not saying Washington doesn't, but there's a bigger market out there for it, to where it's it just all made sense. My boy worked for the radio station, so he was the host.
Fire.
And then it's a place that I think people from Washington would be like, oh yeah, I'll go there.
Yep.
You know, if I think me and you talked about New York once or twice, and it's like, yo, if I throw a watermelon sundae in New York, like how many people are going to really pull up though? That's a flight.
That's a flight,
That's
but
a flight.
it's amazing. That the energy. I feel like the New York energy will be reciprocated.
Oh, for sure.
And really match.
That's the cool thing about Watermelon Sunday. It was born in Washington, but it's not a Washington event. If there was people when I moved it to the Freight House, there were people that were recording it on like Snapchat and Instagram, and was getting responses back like, "Dang, where you at? Like DC, Florida?" And like, there's nobody said Tacoma, and nobody was thinking it. And that's the best part about Watermelon Sunday. When you see it from the outside looking in, you don't know where it's from.
Yeah, it's
just a good vibe, and that's why I knew it was transferable to any other state I went to. As long as I can bring the spiked watermelon, I don't care about. That's the one thing I won't. There's venues that have reached out to me like, "Hey, we would like you to, throw watermelon Sunday here." It's like, can I serve spiked watermelon? I don't know about that. Yeah, I can't do it. Sorry, boss. It's decent. Yeah, there's people that don't eat watermelon but will pull up and get the spiked watermelon. It's like, who doesn't like
fruit, alcohol?
Who don't like free stuff? It's like it's better than Jello shots. I feel like Jello shots are just like dated, unless you're just a wild person, but very much dated to where it's like, you get a slice of soaked watermelon. And I mean, that's really some college vibes that I was really adding on to that. Like that's like the punch,
so jungle juice.
Exactly. So just bring that same energy and essence. And, I'm the type of person where I don't like to be out and not have nothing in my hand.
I feel like
if I don't want to get a drink instantly or wait in the line instantly, it's like I walk right in, boom, got a watermelon slice. I might just get 2 just so I can,
double fist.
Exactly. So
always have something.
But yeah, Dallas was love though, man. I was really glad that people that never been to Dallas, that was their first experience. For Dallas to be a poppin' state, they're doing something all day, every day in Dallas. I mean, it's lit on the Monday through Friday. Out there. So for them, people to be out there to like really be like, okay, this is different, but this is a different that we like though.
Yeah.
Because it's really about food, drinks, fun, and games. And, it's not a party if the homies can't smoke. So I always try to make sure it's, smoke friendly, so it's just like all those elements to a party that you don't get often. I mean, we had a snow cone truck out there. We had a food truck out there too. So just being able to do all that in the pandemic was just a dream come true in general.
That's amazing.
So looking forward to taking it to more places. But honestly, it's just like leverage to get people to be like, okay, I know where Washington's at now.
Yeah.
Because if I had a list, Washington will still be there because I need people to be like, oh, I know Los Angeles, I know Texas. Tacoma, Washington, like I need them to be curious about it and be like, dang, why is it like in Tacoma, Washington?
Yeah.
And then when they get here, it's like, oh yeah, this is why. So I stand behind. We have some of the best summers out here,
True.
So.
But we have the spring through summer. It will change your life here. It'll make you think. It'll make you confuse what like rain is and like why people always say it rains here. I feel like if you come to Washington in spring or summer, and specifically if you come to Pierce or King County in those times of the year, you'll find so many like that's when I feel like black people are the most outside and we're interacting with the city the most during the spring and summer. So I feel like you can come here, fall in love, find so many people and just so many reasons to stay. And then as soon as that like October, September hits, you understand why we thug it out through through the weathers. Cause like that spring, once that spring air hits you, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's fresh air. You can't beat it.
Nothing.
And it's like, that's one thing I think was super important for me about Watermelon Sunday. I won't say I despise indoor day parties, but that's a brunch to me, right? Let's keep it a bug. Just brunch with no food, right? If it's a day party, it has to be outside. And I think that's one thing, me leaving home and coming back, realizing that's what people don't appreciate the most about Washington is being outside. So it's like, I have to throw a Watermelon Sunday on a rooftop outside. I need that fresh air. And then, there's just a lot of other things now that we're in COVID that people don't care about when they're outside.
Yeah.
But when you're indoors, it's like, okay, I'm worried about all 4 corners of the wall.
Exactly.
Like, I'm on the rooftop. I'm just worried about not falling off.
Exactly.
So
I can get my fresh air if I need to. I'll back up if I got to. Stay in my own little zone.
That's been very important, just to really embrace the outdoors. And I love the scenery that we've had for the most part for Watermelon Sunday and the R&B event, just because you really get to see the city from an angle that was like, dang, I didn't even know this was up here. I've been here my whole life. You know, like, so yeah, it's just been a vibe.
I think your event was the first time I was in alma mater for real on the roof.
Oh damn, really?
Yeah.
That's recent too. And it's funny. People was like, "Why don't you do stuff at night?" I did all my night stuff in college, so I just don't want to do nothing at night.
Perfect time.
And I want to go home.
Yeah,
like I love,
sure. I gotta go to work
this.
the next day.
Exactly.
It's like, yo, we're either having a daytime party, or if I ever throw an event that's not during the day, it's only going to be R&B. I'm getting too old for, you know, like I'll go turn up and we'll finito party up, but just like I'm
still out of here.
Yeah, I'm on some smooth stuff. So R&B on the late nights, or we're just going to keep it all daytime vibes. And plus, I believe in this theory that, you know, a lot of stuff be popping off at night.
Yep.
And when it's dark and you're intoxicated, don't nobody see what happened. Everybody's just running. Then the person that put the event together is the person that gets the blame.
Exactly.
When somebody's doing some weird stuff at an R&B party or during the day, you're just like pointing at that person like, yo, like it was him the whole time. You know, like it's not put on the creator at that point, because that's a real reason why a lot of events aren't curated anymore. I think is because like the people that put all the time to put it together, and then some knucklehead or whoever just ruins it. Yeah, they're not blaming that person. They're blaming the person that puts it together, and that's a burden that nobody wants to deal with. So I'm just thankful that majority in all of the events that we've done have been safe, and I just have it in broad daylight so somebody can point them out. You know, like point them out, get them out.
Exactly,
you know, and then we'll keep the party going. There's no pointing out nobody at the club or at night. It's like, yo, I'm out.
I'm drunk. I don't know who. It might have been all three.
Exactly. You know, so it's like you're doing something weird at an R&B party. You might just don't need to be outside.
Facts.
And then during the day, you know, anything can happen broad daylight, but just like at least you got eyes on it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you can be more aware of your surroundings if you're aware of your surroundings.
I try not to do nighttime events. There will be a nighttime event this year for Watermelon Sunday after party, but outside of that,
nothing major.
Keeping it cashy.
I love that.
Keeping it cashy. Did you guys enjoy the R&B party?
Yes.
Yes. Can we get a motherfucking hand clap for all that?
Of course.
I think it's just important. It's amazing to put this on the platform and really let people know that you create a safe space for a lot of people in the town, and that safe space to be able to just like let go of the worries, hang out. The vibes are immaculate. It's amazing. I had a great time both times. I was there for part 1 and part 2.
Man, that's what's up.
Oh yeah, I was. It's because it was so smooth. Because we walked in and I was like, I saw a bunch of aunties, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good. Like I was underdressed because I came in like a hoodie and like some cargos, and I was like, oh, it's smooth in here. Like, and then like more and more people just started coming in, and that was like the first time. That was the first time in a while I was just like, I seen more black people dancing and having fun, and like it was very seamless.
Yeah.
And it was like genuinely like, oh, this is a great time. Like I was like taking photos, and I was just like, I was able to be in the environment and just like sing song after song after song, and like have a memory of my mom singing it, or like the homie's mom singing it, and just like being like I don't know. It reminded me of like why summers here are amazing. It's just like
it's that nostalgia, man. That's all.
Yeah.
I have to sell one thing. I'm going to sell nostalgia, because that's what people can relate to. You know, like there's 3 things: recognition, relatability, and reputation, or repping something. You know, so if you have those 3 R's in whatever you do, you know, people are going to just follow. You know, because they'll rep it if they recognize it. You know, so just like, you know. That's what it's about, nostalgia, man. It makes you feel good. Saturday morning cleanups, or, you know, late nights at the skating rink.
Just that feeling.
Yeah. So,
I wanted to add. We kind of blew past it because I wanted to talk about your party throwing. But how did you get involved with ETC? Because like I know, being from Tacoma, you probably like saw Umi and stuff, and like P and stuff. But how did that relationship really foster?
So I started my own brand in middle school. My mom had a business, so I was always around her. She did like shoe parties. I gotta always give props to mom because she's the one that set the platform for me. So candle parties where women have candles come set up at somebody's house, and then they just pretty much buy candles. My mom took that concept, but with women's shoes.
Fire.
So I was, her raising me as a single mom at the moment. I was always just helping her, so I would just lug all the shoes. But then I just see all these women just here to spend money. So I started my clothing brand called Tag Your It, and tag stand for talented and gifted. So it was really about just passing on our talents and gifts to the next person with the T-shirt. I started that in middle school. I did that for a while. I was doing like church flips. I had like the Jesus is a lifesaver with the lifesaver on there and stuff like that.
Oh, that's fine.
Just because I knew my market at the moment.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a young kid that started a business, and I grew up in the church. Okay, these are my people that I can sell to for the most part. Once I got to high school, I realized that my market changed.
Yeah.
I played basketball majority of my life, so I know a lot of hoopers. And I used to work at the AAU tournaments at the Salvation Army. And I used to sell all of the championship shirts or just the like tournament shirts and stuff like that. So I went from like running the T-shirts to like just being a really good salesman. At that point, I was selling snacks in school, fundraisers on the basketball team. Did that, like how Riley was on on the Boondocks fundraiser. Like that was really me. You. I was really getting into it. People selling snacks out the locker. That was really me. So I didn't meet Umi until the commencement of the actual store. So P was my assistant basketball coach at Foss. So I was just like, I sell stuff.
Yeah.
You're not here on the regular. Like, you don't even want to be in the high school outside of practice, right? So give me all the stuff that you got, and I'll sell it to all the homies. Like, I was just eager. I've done many jobs from like World Venture to, man, I tried them all. I was a paper boy too. I used to work for the News Tribune, so I was just, I was really a go-getter.
Yeah.
He was like, for sure. There was a pop. He gave me some merchandise to jug off, and then there were 2 or 3 pop-ups that I did. One of them being at Gallery of Ambition, which is Neon Dion. Old spot that he was the first person to carry ETC, so we did pop-ups in there. So that's how I met Dion. Me and him got a project coming up. We'll talk about that later, but I just stayed around. I just showed eagerness of wanting to learn. I knew I was smarter because it's like, P and them are older than everybody in high school. That means the older people in high school are looking up to what they wear and what they got, and I'm the young dude with it.
Yeah.
So now, I just hit
naturally ahead.
just back on top on it. So it's just like, it just happened to work out, man. That was like early 2000. That was like late 2012. That was like my junior going to my senior year. I was pushing the shirts, the whole 9. And then when they decided to open up a store, they let me know, and I was like,
I'm in there.
Yeah, you don't have to say nothing.
I'm in there.
Like, I was in there from the first sale, so because that was their whole thing, and that's when I met Umi when we were first like putting the store together and building it out and stuff. I actually got a picture of us in the old shop, just us 3, that I keep as a keepsake, just because that was just a moment in time for me. Now, as time has gone, me and Umi have gotten closer based off of like him being a real store boy, or a store guy. He was like really a block boy, so just kind of picking his brain. We became closer. P's always gonna be my guy. I mean, he's the one that brought me into it, So the relationships have like equaled out now to where it's like, I just haven't left. And then I left for school a little bit after the store opened, and I just did sales and marketing from a distance, and then when I came back home, I would be in the shop.
That's fine.
I just never left. They couldn't get rid of me, so I just been here ever since. And it's funny that you said something about the modeling, because I would never went into it to obviously be a model. I'm here for the sales.
Yeah.
But people like to see the merchandise on people. So it's like if we just got something in late or just got something in quick and trying to set up a time for a model and all that stuff just doesn't always work out like you want it to. And it's like, bro, throw it on me. I'll sell it. You know, like I'll take this picture. If that's going to bring in sales, like throw the garments on me, and I just haven't stopped. I've slowly but surely transitioned out of
I've seen
modeling because people were like, "Oh, you model for ETC." It's like, yeah, and it makes it a lot easier because if you see me on the streets, I'm going to use that as not as a sales tactic, but it just makes it an easier conversation for me to be. Because if you're a model, you're not telling people like, "Oh yeah, go down to a shop." It's like, "Oh yeah, I model for them guys," you know, and kind of like you'll either push modeling or you'll just acknowledge that and like keep it moving. But I use it as a way to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm down at the shop," and when people come to the shop, it makes it very relatable because it's like, oh, I seen his face, so I feel like he's the person I should be talking to. So it just all kind of helped. Exactly. So, yeah, I don't necessarily be asking the model, but it's just like you got to get her done.
Exactly.
You know? So whatever gets the job done, I'm there for. You know.
That's beautiful. I feel like what I didn't really know, what I feel like I really got to know through like just having this discussion. That your understanding of marketing and just business structure is like amazing. Just because how you broke down just the ranking of you as a kid to know like I have it on, you want it. I'm already 3 steps ahead of you, so you're gonna hit me before you're gonna hit them because you think this age thing is gonna stop it. But I'm gonna get my jig off. So I love that like through it all you've had this just like business front runner CEO like chairman like mentality through it all.
You got to.
And I feel like it shows a lot through like what you're able to achieve and what you've been successful in to this day. It's very formulaic and it's very as much as it's telling a story. Like I feel like the business matches it 100%. You can see it how like I've just been able to just even in the year of just watching you launch a new brand and just seeing that be able to like grow to what it is today and to what I know it will be in the future. It tells it right there because like it's so seamless. Because
a lot of people would assume that I'm the owner.
Yes,
and I'm not.
I thought of it.
I'm an executive. You know, I'm not the owner. You know, but I was there from the very, very beginning, so I moved like an owner.
Yeah.
And that's why I like tell the students that I work with or the people that ask me questions is like you don't have to have the title of a boss to move like one. You know, if you move like one, things are just going to fall in suit like it's supposed to. You know, because I'm. Even if you go on my social media, it does not say owner.
No, it
says brand manager.
Yeah, I had to do the research.
Like,
I was like, oh no, it doesn't say that.
You know,
it's like,
so just like I know what happens top to bottom is like I'm the third man. You know, like
you understand the front and back end.
Yeah, so.
You know, I think that's very important. And it helps it shows even in the ETC business that there's like the first person you meet before you get to know anyone else that does anything here, the person you got to meet is Daz. Like to get that approval to like, I was talking to Umi about introducing them to somebody and he was like, yeah, just if Daz give him the okay, he'll make it, they'll make it up the ladder. They'll eventually see us. Sure. But like Daz got to give that okay to like even get to like, I would say that that family starts with the person you meet first, and like 9 times out of 10 it'll be Daz.
Most of the time, some people don't know what to ask.
Yeah,
and you know that could be time consuming, which is chill. You know, like I'm at the shop all the time, so like we can. I tell people all the time, just pull up and talk.
Yeah,
you know, if you pulled up on me and we chopped it up, you know, but it's just like, you know, my whole job is to help push them out, you know, for the most part, so they don't have to necessarily be there the whole time. So. I've been around long enough, you know. I was an intern for 3.5, 4 years, and then I became a full-time employee there. So just being able to do this for a lifestyle and what pays my bills is a blessing, you know. Like
that's amazing. I gotta give another one. I have to.
But yeah, a lot of man. I wish you guys were around for 907. 907 was good years, man. Really good years, man.
It looked legendary.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we brought Dom out for our grand opening. Open mics are legendary there. Listening parties that were had there. Pop ups. I mean, Bricks and Wood was sold first at ETC. We were their first storefront that they sold merchandise in. So just to even see from that jump to like where Casey is now, you know, just it's a lot of history that I'm just super blessed to be a part of, and attached to a lot of people in the community, to where like if they've been following me, then it's just like, man, you've been doing it for a long time. I'm just glad that people get to just see, you know, people chasing their passion at the end of the day, you know, cause
see the growth and it actually manifests into like real things.
Cause it's a real beautiful thing, man. So I just push people to go for their passion, you know.
I love that. Is this a perfect segue? You've been like mute, so I'm gonna let you introduce Kyle, so you get some talking time. Who told you to talk more?
Oh man, the only reason why this episode I'm super mute is because this is one of the most beautiful conversations I could have ever been a part of. So yeah, I can you know, have our brother come through. We did want to ask y'all how ATB came about.
Yeah, for sure.
And the origins. So
we're gonna do a slight little shuffle in for a second.
Drop the chair in as you may please. Thank you, team. And then pick up the.
Yeah, it's only right to have my guy. He needs this one right here.
Yeah, pick up the mosaic.
There we go.
And how's he sound? Well,
mic check.
Perfect.
Oh yes,
beautiful.
My guy.
So yes, you know, the cap of the hour.
Case.
How did the business unfold, and where did the relationship start for Above the Brim?
Well, if you guys don't know, it's my guy Kyle. He is the other half to Above the Brim. Me and Kyle know each other since
2012.
Yeah, high school.
It's probably been like 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. We've known each other for a very long time.
Yeah, fast.
Man, we worked at the mall together for a little bit too. I worked at Foot Locker and Finish Line.
Chic Shoes.
Yep.
Chic.
Oh, you guys were drinking out of Chic?
Oh man,
Nice.
Number one seller. Number one seller.
You know. But yeah, no. Me and Kyle have been friends for a very long time. Mm-hmm. I remember having a conversation, I think before COVID for sure.
Definitely.
With Kyle, I was like, man, I have this project I've been working on. I need you to be a part of it. Like, it doesn't work without you, Kyle. And I think just Kyle's support for me. I mean, he's been at multiple Watermelon Sundays. Dude's in the highlights. Like, dude got more high. I think all my recaps, Kyle's in every single recap of R&B, Watermelon Sunday, ETC, whatever it is. But Kyle, Kyle's just been loyal to the soil. You know, he's been a fan of the shop. He probably has some of the most nostalgic snapbacks that we made. Oh, yeah, his collection is like ridiculous. So I just knew I was, you know, working with the right person. You know, when COVID hit and we had to be locked down and the shop closed, that was the first time the shop has ever closed on against its will. Yeah. So that was the first time I know that the shop anything can happen at any time, you know. But when you're always in something, you just feel like, oh, you know, it's not going to ever be broken until it's broke, you know? So that moment switched a light because I couldn't do events. That's like my pivot outside of doing clothes. It's like, oh, I do events though too. Like, I either do parties or I do clothes. Yeah. And when I couldn't do both, it was like, dang, like, what's going on? You know, like I got to really figure it out. So I told Kyle about the hat idea, and I was just like, you know hats better than anybody. And you know the machine better than anybody.
Maybe to give a little background too, I've been at Lids for almost 7 years now. So I was at Chic for a year, then went to Lids. Right now I manage the South Center store there. Oh, fire. So just, you know.
Legendary Lids store.
Definitely. Nice. Yeah, it goes up. It's crazy. So, you know, just getting at Lids and learning embroidery, I just was really able to turn it into a craft that I feel like, honestly, I've perfected at this point. I mean, when you're looking for embroidery, there's really no other place you should go. So, and then, you know, just being in the hats for so long, I've seen it go from the Mitchell and Ness snapback wave to when dad hats popped off and everybody wanted dad hats. I, you know, selling those every year to now to see fitteds where they are,
Yeah.
almost on the same level as sneakers. So, you know, when Daz said he had the idea about doing fitteds and custom fitteds, I was like, yeah, like, let's go. You know, I'm not the kind of person who's going to have all the ideas and create my own brand. But when Daz came to me, I'm like, this is perfect. Daz's ideas and my execution, like, I felt like we could really make something.
No, and we have.
You definitely have.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of ATB.
The K is one of the best. The Basics drop was, I loved working with Hayes on those. He came up with some really nice ideas. So yeah,
every time
those.
I wear a Mariners inspired ATB cap, someone's always asking me like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, this is that exclusive. Like, this is the boys from the South Sound. Like,
for sure.
This is no team has this, because these are one of a kind.
Yeah, for sure. So,
I literally keep the QR code in the car just in case. I'm just like, if I'm going in somewhere that's gonna have like questions, I'm just gonna
just
scan it.
Just hit the QR code. But no,
Send it to IG.
but yeah, man. I mean, we grew up. Like I said, we went to high school together in the whole nine. So I just knew Kyle was the right person. And just his knowledge, like I could think every hat's cool, and then put it out there, and people be like, yeah, that's not tight, So just from his perspective, and him seeing hats every single day, it's just like, it's really important to have his eye in terms of, like, he knows if it needs to be puffed or if it needs to be raised or stitch count and the whole nine. So it's been fun, just working with Kyle and him teaching. We're at a point now to where like we're working on getting our own machine and stuff. So he'll be teaching me how the skill sets and things, so we can, like double trouble. But just since we've been working together, people like, oh, you work with Kyle? Like, I heard he's the guy when it comes to embroidery. You're not working with an actual embroidery house.
Yeah.
And you just need somebody that knows how to do it. Kyle's probably the only person that like is goated and like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. You push the button here, lock it here, So just his skill sets, and then I think just my wild concepts and ideas. Definitely. I think it was just a really good mesh, and we just wanted to see something different. Like we've been in hats for a long time, or I seen the trend of hats, or fitted hats, coming back around probably like 2 or 3 years before it happened.
That's fire.
Before we even started seeing any color brims, I was like, oh yeah, fitteds is on its way back. But I was like, people are still doing the same fitteds though. It's just like that's one canvas that is grid locked, because people only know New Era.
Yep.
And it's crazy. And then New Era only supports, like obviously all the major league sports, but then the 10% of like brands, maybe less than that, so just like
a few select people have New Era accounts.
Yeah.
Very select.
So I already knew going into the game that we were going to have to figure out how to make our own custom hat, just because I'm not saying we can't get the New Era deal, but it's going to take time like anything does,
The color brims and all the custom colors that you see now kind of really put a hurt on brands getting their own deals too.
Yeah.
Because everybody's trying to do the team suit stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's all out there. So New Era is really kind of tightened up on what they're allowing too. So
not tight.
It's not tight.
Not yet. Definitely not.
With your guys', I feel like with your guys' track record and what I know, what the crazy concepts to come in the future, that I feel like that'll be a layup. You'll outgrow them and it won't even be necessary.
Yeah, I told Kyle, like, we were sitting down talking about it. It was like, yo, we'll run this till the wheels fall off. But, my whole thing is Kyle enjoys his job. Let me not say that.
Yeah.
But,
I do, yeah. Liz is treating me really well.
Yeah.
I have to preface that.
Yeah. But Kyle being around the shop, being around me, and just the guys in general, like, there's no reason Kyle shouldn't be in, like, a boutique style, because just the way he dresses, the way he presents himself.
Facts.
Like, he's still a salesman, but he's cultured enough to be in the mix of everything and just, like, fit in a way or stand out in a way to where it's like, oh, dude's super cool.
Exactly.
Like, he's always got the thumbs up at the shop. Everybody just don't come to the shop and get the thumbs up. Kyle's had the thumbs up, Thank you. My whole goal is to be able to steal Kyle from out of lids to where we'll have our own spot in our own embroidery house, so where like he'll be able to do all the same thing he does now, just on our own account. So that's my number one goal, is just to be able to build that for me and Kyle. But I me and Kyle was talking the other day. Was like, yo, the one thing we'll do is like creative direct for like new era.
Yeah.
Nothing less.
Yeah, and they need it.
Nothing less. And we'll still make these same hats. We will not make it. I don't want no team hat. Don't give me no team hat. They're not even team I will rock like that.
Exactly.
You know why I made these? We made these Mariner flips because I'm not busting down the Seattle Mariners. I'm barely busting down the Tacoma hats. You feel me? Unless it was like, unless it's a really cool streetwear brand that we rock with, or a super dope collaboration. It's like I'm not just busting down the regular decklers, you know. So
I will.
I'm probably having exclusives. So.
Sports hat addict over here. I can't not.
That's
wear
the part. He got the same Mariners hat in the same color, just with different side hits.
Oh,
yeah, crazy, right?
You want to talk about how many navy blue Mariner hats you have with the silver S? It's like insane. How many two tones? Yeah.
I was saying if the Mariners, when you guys reach out, they gotta let you guys do the M. Like if they let you do an M flip, because they don't really make too many M like hats. I was like, if they gotta let you guys do an M and then do whatever you want with it. But I was thinking that as like a concept, because like everyone does the S or with this baseball, and I was like, yeah, like I don't see Daz really touching that as like a concept or anything like that.
Shout out the swim team though; they turned up on that one.
That was a perfect
really
flip.
nice.
I wasn't mad at that.
I have one upstairs. That's an amazing
I was definitely
flip.
looking out. I just be looking at the logos, and I just be sitting there sometimes, and I didn't run away from the S, but I was just like, that's just typical. It's typical if you don't do it in the right way.
Exactly.
And they did it in a really good way to where I was like, this is fire.
Yeah,
I'm mad at that.
Yeah, I didn't know they were
Do the steel heads.
Exactly. We
one
do
of
have
the
a
best.
more
steelhead.
It's funny. We do have a pilot's flip in the works. In the works.
You brought that up yesterday, and then he had to break down what the pilots were to everybody in the room.
Yeah, I rock with minor league teams.
Yeah.
So just like
Aquafrogs?
Just showing that love.
yeah, you know. So
Aquafrogs? What's the aqua?
The Everett
the
Aqua.
aqua socks.
Oh, Aqua Socks.
Yeah.
What do you say? Aqua what?
Frogs.
Oh yeah.
Their mascot's a frog.
Yeah,
I can see where you
it's
get
a green
that.
tree frog.
Yeah.
Frog. But yeah, no. Minor league baseball teams might have some of the most fire like logos and stuff. So it's just like I've always
They have more fun with it.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's not
more
as
creative control.
Yeah.
So, it's so cut and dry with the MLB.
go
The Rainiers are probably one of the more kept back minor
Yeah.
league teams for just having the regular R. Like they're usually one of the most laid back. No crazy logos for them.
Oh, yeah. No.
We're gonna turn up on them too.
No, I was gonna say
Yes,
they got to give you that
definitely.
green light.
Yeah, exactly.
we got a Tacoma Tigers hat coming out.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's gonna be really special.
What has been your guys' personal favorite story that you've told with the hat so far?
You want to go first, Kyle? Because I know every story.
Yeah, for sure. Probably my number one favorite is the K's. The K is first letter of my name. The circle logo with the original one with the M is one of my favorite Mariner logos. That one was just a lot of fun to work on. I even was able to, the first run of those, I stitched at our stadium store too. So the original run of K's was made at the team shop across from the Mariners. So that's a cool little detail.
And if you guys want those in the team store, just let us know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we need the team store deal for sure. Yeah, so the K's has to be number one. What else? I have the Master P one. Oh, and
Top tier.
Yeah, the G Baby also has to be
Top
one
tier.
of my favorites as well. So
Yeah.
those are really good.
They all mean something to me. That's the only reason I think we put them out. Everyone has to mean something. In terms of, I mean, the very first one, I knew starting a hat brand, we had to come out with a banger. So the Ali float like a butterfly seemed like it be. And the funny thing about it is the first one we did was all clip art. We've modified it now to like make it like more personalized and more detailed. But it was like, I told Kyle, like, yeah, I don't care. We just have to make it. You know, I didn't have a graphic designer or anything at that moment to help me make this stuff. So obviously just starting off with that one, which is, you know, one of the most sought after
It's a banger.
ones that we have. Is just like the all over butterfly, you know. And I was a little skeptical about it just because I've seen the butterfly, you know, on the whole hats vibes before.
Yeah.
But I think the concept behind it is just with the glove on the side, you know, I think
That doesn't.
It slowly but surely tells the story. But that just being our first one was the good, kickoff for us. One of the most rarest ones is the Hercules.
Yeah,
That color. I was super excited about that because everybody could wear a black hat. Everybody could wear a navy hat. There's certain colors hats that people won't even touch. If it just, like that gold that is on the Hercules, if that was a Mariners S on the gold, people aren't really going to bust that down like that. So the fact that we were able to make something dope enough on a uncommonly worn colorway was just super fire. And then just the silhouette of the muses on the side, and then the Hercules medallion. I mean, I'm a Hercules fanatic, so I was really going crazy. And that color might be discontinued, so that's why it won't never come back out, unfortunately, until we manufacture our own colorway. But it was like a metallic gold. That was a really, really nice gold.
Really
so New Era needs to let us know what's up in the warehouse that just discontinued items that they're not, running.
They just gotta let you two just like come with your own box and just like fill up a few. Like, hey, you guys ain't doing nothing with these. Oh, you guys gave these to the MLB to just do whatever. You don't need these blanks. Like,
right. Let's get a few cases of blanks and whatever color.
But yeah, so Hercules was a winner for me. Obviously the Ollie. Our first two-tone was the Outcast. So that was very touching for me to be able to see it come to a reality. And honestly, man, it's just been fun just making the hats in general. Being able to do collaborations was fun. It's the Richie Rich hat, and most of those concepts are concepts that I've had.
Yeah.
And I've just held on to it knowing that it's meant for something else.
That's fire.
Yeah, it just happened to all work out, So they said we haven't dropped a dud yet. I don't want to believe it, but
no, you haven't. I saw I see the catalog and I'm like, oh, they're all bangers, and they're all stories that like, oh, this why isn't this once I see it, I'm like, it makes so much fucking sense. Like
Bruce Lee is definitely a slept on one. Yeah,
top tier.
Top tier. Yeah, that's with the nunchucks on the back.
Bruce Lee was my first cop.
Kyle got the model in that one too, so I was like, my guy Kyle. Put him out there too. He be trying to be behind the scenes. I was like, you gotta be out there,
Yeah. It's definitely a heck of a two to start too, with the Ali first and then the Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
two legends just right off the rip.
And then people were sweating me for the Coach Carter.
Yeah, that
still
one
got
too.
it.
Yeah,
nice
our goal is to go through the whole alphabet, and we pretty much have already got. Waterboy was our first brown hat.
Mm-hmm.
What was our first fully custom hat?
Oh, like with all
just our
designed logos, Doggy Style.
Yeah,
was probably that first
style.
one.
That's the one
custom.
That was the first one. I was like, nah, maybe it won't sell out so quick because I bought. You dropped two that day.
Doggy Style.
I think it was that and the Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I bought the Bruce Lee, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna see if I can get the Doggy Style afterwards. And I was like, it still evades me to this day. It's I got A through F right now.
Okay,
that's pretty good.
I got hella
That's
B's
solid.
right now. Because Hayes.
Sure. The basics ones.
But yeah, that's our whole goal, is to get through the whole alphabet, and we're slowly but surely getting through it. I think we're definitely halfway. I think we've dropped over 20 plus hats in less than a year and a half. I don't know.
I think there's less than 10 left, probably.
Yeah.
I got
just like the weird letters, like Z, Y, X. But I got bangers for all of them, though. So not even tripping. We actually have an X hat coming out this year.
Yeah, that'll be this year. Yeah.
We'll mess around and drop the Y hat too, just because we was talking about it the other day, and it was just kind of like, that's just kind of saucy. But
that's right.
Yeah, if we get through the whole alphabet. Once we get through the whole alphabet, then I'll be on some like, okay, we're restocking everything now, because 26 different styles of hats.
Crazy.
Restocking, is just like
all original stories, all references that you understand and pull from, and I thoroughly love how you guys have teamed up and really from concept to stitching to placements. I love everything about you guys creating this signature. There's no having an ATB on and no one else having the same hat, but you get more compliments than everyone else in the hat, and like going into clubs and they're like, "Oh, take your hat off," and then they see the ATB and they're just like, let you walk in.
They're like
I've been in that situation with Tavares where like I walked in with the Bruce Lee joint and like I just got in. And Tavares is outside arguing with someone. I think this is like he's just wearing a regular Mariners hat, and he's out there. It's like
I think I had I had the B Hayes Basics trucker.
Oh yeah,
Black,
there you go.
black and silver.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were like, "Nah, bro, you can't get in here with the hat." And he's like, "Look at everybody in here with hats. How you not go?" And he came in hot.
Wow.
So just having that feeling of like,
Our motto. Stay ahead.
stay ahead.
You gotta stay ahead, man.
And I feel like
ATV on, you're already ahead of the game. That's facts.
I feel like it shows. It shows in the response
ATB that day.
here and out of town.
Yeah,
I feel
people be
like
rocking out of town. I really love. I really love that. We've got orders from out of town. There's people from Cali and New York that have copped from us. And that's our biggest goal moving past getting through the whole alphabet. It's just like once we can do something in New York and get the respect from like the mecca of where hats really come from, at least fitteds.
Yeah.
It's just like, and we got some things in the work. Shout out to Queens. We got to do some stuff with some people from Queens.
Fire.
But yeah, just to be able to, I already know we're going to get our hats in stores, so I'm not really too worried about that. But just to get that respect from the East Coast, because people don't think about hats on the West Coast like that. And if you do, you think about California, so it's like, I'm trying to go out there and be like, yeah, we make hats, like
top tier hats.
So we're trying to be the black era, just because it's a canvas that's not used that so many people want to use. There's so many like snapback or trucker hat or dad hat brands out there, and it's like they probably make all those based off of not being able to have access to a fitted hat.
Yeah,
so we want to be able to be the wholesaler for brands like Basic, Groovy Tapes, anybody that wants to use the canvas of our blank one that we have made, New Era doesn't want to only wants to serve 1 out of 10. Okay, we'll serve the 9.
Yeah.
So that's our ultimate goal, is just be able to be obviously a retailer, but just a wholesaler of the actual blank, because it's like, it's crazy that it's a canvas that is easier to sell than most canvases.
Exactly.
You don't have to put, I'm not the greatest designer, so making the whole t-shirt is a lot different than making the hat, because you only have so much real estate to use. And it's just like, if you play it smart, all you need is a letter that signifies something, and then after that you just give minor details, so
that's amazing. I have to.
What's some of your guys' favorite hats?
Fuck.
We'll see, because of Corey, right?
See, the Coach Carter is my top 3. Yeah. It's the one I wear it often because no one else really has it that I like in my circle. So like I can get that fit off and never match. The Meteor Man, because it's like
with the glow in the dark.
Yeah, and from the reference. The back asteroid, I was just wearing it, I think on yesterday's pod. I was like, it's one of those ones where it's like I won't see that one often unless I'm in the room with Belugs.
And the funny story about that real quick is just like, I don't know about you, but do you remember Up and Away?
Yes. Yeah.
Which was the Disney Channel black superhero movie that they put out. If I would have made, that was the original concept, but I knew people weren't going to really, either a Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, or Disney, and that's not one of the Disney Channel movies you're just like, oh yeah, I just know that one off. You have to really be like, oh, I watch Disney Channel movies, so. But Robert Townsend is the one that made that. He directed and wrote that, so I just brought it way back to his origin of Meteor Man. And it was also dropped with Major Payne.
Yes, right. Another banger.
Double M's, and both of those were shot in the DMV. So just like a lot of history, it's just like, yo, we want to tell a story with the hat. You shouldn't buy a hat and be like, oh, what does it mean? You're like, I don't know, Seattle. Like we want to make sure there's a true story.
You understand it through and through.
Yeah, I have people from DC like, oh, how'd you know about this? Like, this is near and dear to the heart, So just like once you get calls or comments like that on the pieces, it just hits home like totally different. So
No, I feel like the references and what I feel like even what you specifically add to it, because there's like when you're doing Coach Carter, there's so many things that you can like putting on it. Even the Titans, there's so many like ways you can go. All right, do I want to flip it this way or flip it that way? I feel like you guys execute with placements, like the full storytelling with, and then leaving more room for like the impactful moments in the movie or the reference. But being able to be like, all right, it doesn't take too much out of like the hat or just take too much away from it. So
yeah, really a lot of the patch, place work, we're kind of keeping the same original theme as like MLB hats, but just switching up what's there instead of sports logos. It's, everything based off of whatever story we're trying to tell.
Yeah.
So that way, people who are wearing fitteds already and used to sport hats, they can still kind of relate to them because they have kind of the same theme, the same look. Yeah. It's not like they're wearing a totally different theme. It's just not sports. We're deeping down into, like Daz said, the nostalgia and everything. So it's worked out pretty well.
Nah, this is amazing. Best hat company in America. Soon the world. I don't know who rivals it. It's probably just New Era because they own the factory.
They got a monopoly. It's very important. Because our hats are made in the United States. New Era doesn't make their hats in the United States anymore.
Nope.
Oh damn! I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's been almost.
They shut down the Buffalo place in 2017 or so. Yeah. They stopped making them in Buffalo. The only
best hat company in America.
The only New Era hats that are made in the USA are the ones that the players are wearing on the field. They're the only ones that get the USA ones.
Damn.
So that's people are like, man, $65, $70. It's like, come on now, it's that.
That's easy.
It's that forward. You feel me? We're not Volvo.
Also,
we're made in America.
And you might as well get it while it's that price because the references and the craftsmanship he can up it on you at any time.
For sure. And our goal is to never there's people that been selling like $100 fitted hats. And it's like, I'd rather somebody buy $65, $70 fitted hats than buy one fitted hat from you in the year. So just our goal is to not get more than, an $80 hat, unless it's like a collaboration or a whole package deal. Like we had an anniversary, our 2-year anniversary set is going to be a $200 set. But it's gonna be like
when you see it, you'll be like,
okay, it makes sense.
I'm giving it. I don't have this. I'm giving the money.
The most expensive hat that we sold was $95, which was the Richie Rich. That was $95 after tax.
Come on, it's in the name though.
The Richie Rich hat, but we had the magazine in there. We had the cool box that came with it, which was a jewelry box. We had some fake jewels in there, so we try to, on the regular, we'll just go get you the hat, but. When we do something special with a collaboration or a team, we want to just give it the extra umph so it doesn't feel like you're just getting the hat that you usually get on the regular, So,
I wanted to before we leave talking about hats, I wanted to ask you what made you start coming up with designs to help local businesses? Because that's the first official Daz hat I owned was the Daz deal, the beefy burger. That was the first.
Damn.
That's cool.
So to just have that building up businesses, where'd that come from?
I've always had this thing at ETC where it's a Daz deal meal, just a Daz deal, which is me just trying to show love. Students get 20% off. We still do the first Finch Wednesdays. I'm just a deal guy, throwing those out there. But being in the company with ETC, I understand the hurdles that we run into in terms of trying to help everybody. Everything local probably will want a collaboration, in some shape, form, or fashion. And there's levels to it to where it just doesn't always make sense.
Yeah.
Which is that's just business at the end of the day, nothing personal. With hats, I was very stern on I'm not doing anything besides fitteds. In terms of doing collaborations, that's where I was like, okay, I'll ease up a little bit and we can make it make sense based off of what is being done.
Yeah.
So just doing a little bit of research history. Hats are everywhere. And I don't think people really realize it. First of all, you have to wear a hat in most food industries.
Facts.
Right? When you graduate, you're wearing a hat. When you get drafted, you're wearing a hat. So hats are everywhere.
Yeah.
So once we realized that there's not a lot of small restaurant or businesses that have things that are tangible outside of their product, which is like a meal or something.
Yeah.
And that's not really beneficial to the business, because after I eat the burger, the last thing I'm thinking about is the burger at that point. You know what I'm saying? And once I seen that void, and I seen that, oh, okay, we can use this as a platform to help small businesses. You know, name a local restaurant out here.
Communion.
So it's like, yeah, we'll make a C hat for communion, whatever side hit, and it's like, okay, now we'll use that to push people to that business, and things of that nature. So I was just going hard for beefy burgers. Like Frisco Freeze is nostalgic for sure, but they're also at a point to where, like, let me not speak out of place. I'm assuming that, you know, they're at a point now to where, like, they don't see like the community like the community sees them. Yeah. Because like we've been here forever. We just do what we do. We flip burgers and stuff. And it's just like Beefy Burger was in a place of trying to grow their business and me supporting them and just them actually having quality food. Not saying that Frisco's doesn't, but just them having quality food, and the timing on getting your food was just quicker. It was just like rock with this energy. You know what I'm saying? So when the pandemic hit, I approached them, honestly. I had a whole presentation, and I was like, I want to do this for you guys. I mean, I created the commercial from scratch, the whole concept idea, and all they did was just give me the thumbs up to push everything. But I just realized that we can help bring awareness to small businesses by making a hat. Because like telling a small business to try to order shirts is totally difficult. Like people just putting stuff on shirts, they don't understand how tedious that process can be, because first of all, there's 5 different sizes for the most case. There might be people that are bigger than the 5 normal sizes. So you got to order and all types of other stuff. It's just like, it can be very complicated, but a trucker hat, like one size fits most, you know? So and it's like, yo, I'm not wearing the fresh fitted in the grease trap back there while making fries and stuff. Exactly. And it was more nostalgic to have a trucker hat and the whole 9. So once I figured out that we can use trucker hats or just any other hat outside of a fitted to help bring awareness to those small businesses. So what we do is we'll have a pop-up, like the one day or something pop up. Yeah. We'll sell the hats out. I only get a certain amount, so they'll eventually sell out. And then when they do, I will allow the business to order more hats from us. We'll produce the hats for them, and then we'll give it to them, and people will never be able to get it from us. Yeah. They have to go to that business to go get that hat, and that's the tangible product that they now have because of it. So just because you have to wear hats in the food industry, I just thought it's a very seamless correlation between the two. That's fire. Our goal is to do 6 this year. We have one coming out in February. Okay. I don't know. Should I say?
Why not? Let's break a little bit of news.
Yeah. So Only Oatmeal is a Black-owned, woman-operated business. Point Rustin. They're down there at the market. She makes oatmeal. I mean, she makes cookies with oatmeal base, so it's not dough. And they're fire. Absolutely fire. It's crack, honestly. Like, they're going way too crazy. They're gluten free and vegan too. So try to always be on the health tip. You know, I did the beefy burger joint, but there's also the Impossible Burger too. So people that don't eat meat were able to get something as well. You know, so I'm always trying to do stuff like that. But Only Oatmeal would be our February. I want to do more women operated businesses in general, just because that's where everything started for me was. Yeah. But I want to be able to do a lot of restaurants, you know, like the Fish House is on our list just because it's nostalgic. Like, why not have the royal blue F hat with the...
I still have never been, but
like they're just, you know, and I think it will just bring a certain excitement, and it's an easier way to market for these businesses, you know, because businesses be like, oh yeah, we need help with our Instagram or Facebook and marketing. It's like, yeah, that's a tedious job. That's not like, oh, all you gotta do is this and that. It's like, but when you come up with something
tangible,
something tangible, or a project or some type of like drive to the business, I think that has a longer lasting effect than a post.
Yeah.
You know, there's people that still have the keychain.
Facts.
You know, Kyle got so we did the keychain, which was still based off of our movies
My
and
tooth fell off.
yeah, which is still based off of our movies and nostalgia. Because if you know, Pulp Fiction, the Big Kahuna Burger, they had the yellow hotel keychain on. So that's what, you know, we're still correlating the whole storyline and everything too. You know, so. But yeah, our goal is to work with as many restaurants and businesses that make sense. We did a benefit hat for Lucky Pennies.
Yeah.
I go get tea from her like on the regular, and we did a dad hat for that because it doesn't make sense with her being the fitted or being a trucker hat, you know. So we were able to make a hat to benefit. She was broken into, and you know the downtown has to support downtown, and small businesses have to support small businesses.
Yeah.
So if we can use our platform to do stuff like that could be 50% of our business, and I'm not tripping, you know, because our goal is to give back to those businesses more than takes. Like we make our little coins on the first drop release, and then like, whenever you guys want to put in an order for more hats, that's all you guys, you know.
It'll be on your own dime.
Exactly. So
that's beautiful.
That's our goal, is just to be able to highlight these small businesses and give them something tangible outside of a T-shirt. We have so many T-shirts.
Yeah, and hats are so easy. Like I think about like corner stores and like other cities. Like there's always like a little hat rack.
Oh, for sure.
Everywhere.
So like I think about like, oh, you're more than likely, and especially if it's like $25-$30. All right, here's like, all right, $35 drink plus I have a hat that I'm just free branding, but it's always good because if it's like if it's food, you rep it no matter what. Like I've been tweeting and talking about communion and posting about communion with no sort of affiliation besides the food is smacking, the drinks are smacking, and the vibe is smacking.
Yeah.
Go eat a communion. But like that, like
somebody see you in a community hat, like that's kind of fire.
Exactly,
Like,
I need it.
Oh, that's over at community.
You know,
go check my guys. It just it hits totally different. And that was our whole goal, is just to be able to utilize that. Because like I said, some people, like, once you eat the food, for the most part, after talking about it,
I don't got nothing left, but I always have the beefy burger.
Exactly. And people bring it up for you. So, yeah.
That's a fact. I have to give this a round of applause. So that was beautiful. I love
my guy
every time.
He's only like, he was smacked yesterday. So I'm really like,
no, listen here.
Before that's part of it.
Wrap this big old present with a motherfucking bow on top. Listeners and viewers, it's important to showcase our selfless community leaders who continue to build bridges, who continue to curate some of the coolest shit around town. And this is a special treat for you guys. I hope you guys been listening. And really understanding the history behind everything. We're going crazy, brazy, azy. You guys got a special one this week. This is like, longest pod in a while, but no skin off the bones, because this is special. This is a special moment for us, for having individuals like y'all to show us true love in spaces, and it's only right for you guys to come through and really sit in the talk your shit corner and talk that mess, because it's important.
This is actually my first podcast too, so
come on,
let's go. We were starting.
Gotta get my gun on podcast. It was inevitable. I call Corey like, I don't know what we're about to be talking about, but I'm bringing Kyle. He was like, "Oh, no, that's easy. That's all good." So I wouldn't want to talk about the hats without having Kyle here, because he's a super big part of it. And like I said, he supports me in everything I do. Like I said, the events, he's always there. The shop, he's been there. So big shout outs to Kyle.
It's the Tacoma way. We support each other.
Yeah,
and
False Falcon. It's the Falcon Pride.
And Falcon Pride too.
That's my guy. But yeah.
But I'm gonna ask, since you usually ask, before we get out of here, do you guys have anything else that you want to talk about as far as like personal things coming out, or anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I mean, you want to go first? I'll talk my TS.
If you need embroidery, I'm at South Center Lids, and buy ATV. That's really all I got going on. So just support.
Shout out to Kyle. A couple of things. Obviously, always gonna push the shop. Make sure you guys check us out. at ETC Tacoma, 116 South 9th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98402. We will have some more events going on. We actually got an event going on tonight. My guy Joshua doing a listening party in the shop, so that's where we're headed next. I don't know. This will already be aired after all that happens, but we got a lot of stuff planned for at the shop. More hats dropping. We're trying to drop at least 2 a month for the most part, but the Daz Deal Mill will be in February.
Come on.
I'm dropping a collaboration hat with my guy Neon Dion nice. For Black History Month. If you guys don't know about Neon Dion, I'm going to get him on here for you guys one of these days, just because he's been guest. A big green bottom.
Is that the first green bottom too?
Yeah, it's our first green
bottom.
We're going to dip into the green bottoms. We're not doing no color bottoms. Don't ask us for that. No. Gray or green. Not happening. Those are keep it double G. But that's that. Since we brought up the R&B party, Juneteenth will be kicking off the R&B rooftop party. July 3rd, Watermelon Sunday.
Come on.
Just because
I'm there.
Yeah, you guys haven't been to one yet.
No,
it's not the same energy at the R&B. I tell you that right now.
It's still a vibe. I know.
It's still it's a vibe nonetheless. It's so I'm excited for you guys to be able to check out. This is the first time we'll have it before 4th of July. We've always had it the week after 4th of July, so I'm super excited. So that's why we're going to have an after party. Just keep the night rolling.
Oh, and my birthday is literally the day before, so it's good.
Oh yeah, you guys are all good. Yeah, it's all good.
You got 3 days of fun lined up right now.
We got the Watermelon Sunday hat coming out this year too.
That'll be
I don't know if people really seen that last year. We only made samples.
Very select few.
I did see it.
Bucket hats too. To take it back.
Seen the bucket.
But yeah, I'm just going to stick to my bread and butter. The summertime's my vibe, so I'll bring all the events back in summertime. So June, July, I got you guys.
Come on.
Hats continuously dropping. Make sure you guys check out Only Oatmeal. Check out ETC. Follow us. Obviously, follow us at ATB Headwear. Yeah. And just to give a quick snippet, ATB Headwear's logo is a homage to Spike Lee. Yes. Spike Lee has changed the culture, not just for movies and other cultural things, but for hats as well. This red hat that I wear is a symbol of him breaking the color barrier for hats. There was no, you only get your team color hat back in the day. There was no like baby blue Mariners hat or pink, anything, it's like whatever your team color is, that's what you had. Spike Lee asked for a personalized red Yankees hat to wear in the 1994 World Series when they played the Atlanta Braves. They just won this past year, so that's why it's kind of fire. But he was the one that broke the color barrier on fitted hats. So this is the one I bust down all the time. I just stripped the Y out of it because I'm not from New York, but I keep it neutral. The N for neutral, But just to get that little tidbit, because people look at the logo and don't, it's the 40 acres and the mule flipped, literally.
Yeah.
It's flipped. Like, might be one of the coldest flips just on some like chill vibe, But just wanted to pay homage to that. We're not trying to steal or take nothing. We're just trying to tell a story in a cool way.
Prophesize the collab.
So we're gonna get him. We'll get him one of those soon. But I appreciate you guys for having us on here. Like I said,
thank you very much.
Shout out ATB, shout out ETC,
shout out Groovy Tapes.
Shout out Groovy Tapes.
Yes, sir.
Hats coming into stores soon.
Ooh.
I didn't mean to switch it up on you like that.
No. I'm excited.
You'll be able to get some restocks. We're not going to drop any new stuff for the most part. We're going to drop restocks.
I need the restocks
in certain stores, north and south.
Okay.
There might be more north stores for sure than south stores, but slowly but surely you guys will just be able to get your hands on ATB in a couple different spots right now.
All you people constantly asking me where I get my hats from, I can now direct you to a store that you can look just like me.
Yeah. There you go. Stay ahead. Stay ahead and put your thinking cap on.
Come on.
But I'll let Tavares actually show off what we dropped off to you guys, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants to.
No, please. It'll come out.
No, I just got the blessing, so I'll definitely do it. It's a special day. This right here.
Yeah.
This right here.
Yeah.
This.
I'll do it. Do I have a
ATB exclusive.
For it. I think is it this one? Nope, that's the last one.
You're laughing at him.
They're laughing at me right now.
I hit the wrong button.
But this beautiful piece of artwork right here is our second.
No,
this is our first.
This is our first collaboration.
Okay, yeah.
Our first official
Excuse
collaboration.
us.
We had
Excuse
someone.
me.
We had already designed something, but this is our first official collaboration.
And history may show you guys remember this.
Hopefully.
O'Doyle.
We got to teach him a little more.
I know. I gave away so many of those shirts just because it was such a slept-on idea. But I'm glad I gave it to the right person who like loved it and like wanted to do more with it and really bring it back in a real way. I thought about re-releasing the shirts with it, but I think that the hats, like if you have the shirt to match the hat, you know you're a special person because I gave so many of them away where I was just like, there for someone there is an XL at ETC. It was given to a special person, but he has too many T-shirts, so it's still there. So
It is.
Pull up on Daz. You know you might get it thrown in the bag. You just for some love, like
Facts.
Just mention this. If you make it this far, definitely mention
Groovy
this.
Tapes, and then you might get the Groovy Tea.
You know, it's easy. This is amazing. Like just seeing it on your head and just like our text messages back and forth. Like this is like us as a team. We had to like really sit back and be like, "Fuck, this is such a major accomplishment to have a brand like you guys outside of just how we vibe and just fuck with each other in general, but branding and just like adding your baby and our baby together to like create something cool." Is amazing to me, and I love it, and like it'll probably be my daily until I start getting it dirty and I gotta tuck it away. Thank you, truly. I got to start with a thank you because
no problem.
You came to us with it.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm pulling up on everybody. Like,
come on,
the collab was good.
I'm trying to collab with trying to do more podcast merch collab. So if you run a podcast and you don't got a merchandise, let's do something where we can both eat off some T-shirts or something like that, because you guys not trying to have us on, so we can at least do some merch.
No, for sure.
Why not?
And shout out to the ATB community.
Come on.
Man. Or just shout out to the community in general that's continuously supporting the community. I'm a Tacoma boy through and through, so just to see people that I grew up with still supporting, we're nothing without them guys supporting us at the end of the day. So big shout outs to them.
It's beautiful.
You got to show them the sweatband on that one too.
And the back hit too.
Yes. Don't drop your coins.
Yeah.
Especially around me.
Don't drop the dun.
And then the good.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's not often we use new eras, but when we have them, we use them. Yeah. But we're usually on our custom fitted hats made at the USA, the whole nine. So, most of our different colored hats are all custom because New Era don't do that.
Through and through. So,
but hit us up though.
Man, you've been grooving with the South. This is KWJT. We got Daz, Kyle, Coy, Solana,